Fanforstic Director Josh Trank, quote, "I don't want to see a movie about a bunch of white people." Ooh, well, I'll tell you what, Josh Trank. I'll tell you what I don't want to see a movie about. Hello, everyone. I am Mega Random 42, the one, the only, the original, still your favorite YouTube Harpy, and this is going to be a little bit of a rant video. You know what that means. We get the music. We get the theme music. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pull up the article here. And the writing crop for good measure. Right. So I did respond to this. Let me pull up my tweet here. I said, that's okay. We didn't want to see a bullshit reboot. Not only that, we did not want to see yet another ballless, soulless, dickless Studio Notes marketing group, nothing of a movie that was just there to cash in on the current trend of superhero movies by rebooting something that we've already had a few times over that they didn't even bother to get right in the first place. Oh yeah. And not only that, the fact that he is using right now just shows me that he is exactly the type of ballless, spineless sort of person that I do not want making movies right now. And you know what? Here, I'm going to actually kind of agree with him for about a split second on this. I know, I'm railing on him, but I do have to agree with him on this one. First off, this Fanforstic movie went in one ear and out the other, and I even watched it with riff tracks synced up. Oh yeah. The only person that was any bit of charisma, any memorable anything was Michael B. Jordan. And now, of course, here's the thing. He wanted Sue Storm and Johnny Storm, aka Flaming Johnny, because he has flames. And I rename all the superheroes. I know, Boomer, I rename all of them. You got Johnny Stretch Arms, you got Johnny Rockface, you got Johnny Hammer Smash, you got Captain A-Head, he's got the A on his head, on his little hat. Yeah, I rename them all because I'm a boomer sometimes. And I did not want to see yet another reboot of this, especially that was so heavy into Studio Notes. And the fact that he's coming out right now to kind of go in and throw the studio under the bus and say, hey, remember me, look at me, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault the movie was bad. You know what? Maybe you should have stood up for it back then. Maybe you should have said something. And you know what? Nobody, I don't think, would have had a problem with Sue also being black. I don't think anybody, I certainly wouldn't have. I wouldn't have cared. I did get a little bit confused when I'm like, oh, okay, so this is an adoption thing. Got it. All right. Sure. Because when you have to kind of stop and question a movie, you gotta kind of, it takes you out of the movie. It really just, it takes you right out of the movie. Fanforstic Director, I don't want to see a movie about a bunch of white people. All right. A viewer here points out, as usual, replace white people with any other group and the internet would be going insane right now. Thanks for the racism, Josh. You know, I do agree. Don't make it so that one group of people are less than. Just say, hey, I would have rather had a black actress in the movie, but the studio said, leave it at that. Just leave that. I wasn't going to do a video on this until, this headline popped out. Fanforstic director Josh Trank recently discussed his tumultuous experience with 20th Century Fox film, where he declared he had no interest in watching a movie about a bunch of white people. Well, you know what? I'm tired of these directors and these movie studios, because like I said, this is all Studio Notes. This is all top-down BS. Like I keep saying with this whole brand meme that we have lately, these studios do not practice what they preach, and who pays for it? The rest of us, because we're stuck with these ballless, soulless, asset flip of movies where these companies come in and they take a property or an IP and they just want to make a quick little cash grab sort of movie just to get it out there quickly or whatever they want to do. There's been all kinds of Watch the Midnight Edge stuff for all this. This is actually a little bit before my time, talking about a lot of the pop culture stuff. And all I remember thinking as a normie audience moviegoer and member of the public when I did finally actually watch this, because first off I said, hey, I already saw this. I don't need to see it again. I already saw this not too long ago even. It wasn't even that long before they rebooted it. Why? Just stop with the crappy reboots. That's my big problem with it, And the other thing, why didn't you just have it that way? Because he doesn't have balls. That's why. Because he doesn't have a pair. You know what? Here we go. What else does he say? Trank appeared on the first cut YouTube channel where he revealed he originally wanted a Black Sue Storm and detailed his battles with Fox executives over the direction of the... Okay, well, first off, here's where I'm going to have to play the normie card as the Star Trek person who knows just a little bit about the superhero stuff. I'm not like the hugest connoisseur of everything, but I do know we already had a few movies where they had a very, very awesome Halle Berry playing Storm. Would this have not maybe confused some of your normie audience members? Because now superheroes aren't just this niche comic book geek sort of thing. They're for everybody. So I'm not defending this at all, but I am saying that maybe they didn't want to further confuse people. Because right now, what's going on? We have two different Jokers. We're going to have a few different Batmangs, I don't know what they're called. Batwangs? Okay, Batwangs going around. Fox executives. Yeah, he battled Fox executives over the direction of the film. Well, we know that. And this just really, really comes across as, hey, I need to throw Fox under the bus right now because I'm trying to get work in Hollywood. Because my movie flopped so bad that people are still talking about it now. My movie was so ill-received. And you know what? The studio did, I believe, have a lot to do with that. I believe the studio had a lot of interference, and that's what happens with a lot of these. Because they're not hiring auteur directors. They're hiring a lot of these come in and do a job sort of. They're hiring basically a temp type of person. And no, hear me out on this one. You know how you hire like a temp for your software company or for your data entry sort of thing, where they come in and they do the job just long enough to go on to the next job. And that's what a lot of these directors are doing right now. And you know what? I don't think people would have really had a problem if both Johnny and Sue were black, other than it might have confused the normies. It might have confused people because, wait, is this the same Storm from X-Men? What's going on? Why, is this the same universe? Because that's the big issue that a lot of the normie fans who aren't really the diehard comic book people have with a lot of this is the continuity. What's in the same universe? If you have all these characters that are very similar, wouldn't it be out of reason to think, or out of the realm of reason, just a little, not within the realm. What am I talking about? Oh, cancel Mecca. She's a boomer. It's not unreasonable to think that some normies might not know the difference, who don't really pay attention to characters. People like me, who call them Captain A-Head and Johnny Stretch Arms and Flaming Johnny because they can make fire appear out of their hands like magic. But hey, what do I know? In the middle of talking about the decision to cast Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm, in the film, Trank detailed. So, the question of diversity, it was like maybe the second thought, to be honest, because it wasn't really like, I don't think about that much, because to me, that's by default, you need diversity in movies. So this is just him saying, hey, don't blame me. I tried harder to be part of the thing that I'm currently trying to be part of right now, because today, people.
What do you want? When do you want it?
And yeah, I'm using that clip because it's non-specific and it will be evergreen for a while. It's not really a reflection of current. You guys know that. You know me. I just make fun of everything. He continued in Chronicle. Ooh, is that a magazine about
smoke weed every day?
Maybe not. In the script, it doesn't specifically say that Steve is a black guy. It doesn't say in the script that these three kids. And to me, that's just sort of like, that's not three white kids, that's three kids, right? And that's a great way to see it, especially if you don't really need characters to be a certain ethnicity or a certain whatever to tell a story for everyone. Because when you're telling a story for everyone, including China, you gotta kind of take into account what everybody, especially your Chinese market, is going to do. So if he really wants to get specific, he could actually go in and blame China, blame the studio, and say, look, I tried, but I'm a ballless cuck and I don't need to, maybe I don't need to say that about him. I don't know. Trank elaborated, but that's just me, because you know how some people might not think about it. Like, that they might think, like, hey, I grew up with white people, so that's all I identify with. But I mean, I grew up in a very diverse environment in Los Angeles. To me, it's always been important to show a world that reflects the world I see it. Otherwise, it's kind of creepy and weird. You know what? He's got a great point. He's got a valid point. At the same time, the other side of the argument is we already have the established comic books for what the characters do look like. And when they come in and start making a lot of changes, whether it be something superficial, whether it be something like costume changes, a lot of that stuff, the more they change these properties, the more I kind of wonder, okay, well, why don't you just create something that reflects the world today? Why not create something that reflects exactly the message you want to... Oh yeah. Money from normies, and the studio wants these movies to be churned out all the time. So there's a lot of work to be done on a lot of fronts here to actually make it to where we have the equality and we have the inclusion and diversity in these properties. And like I said, Michael B. Jordan's the only part of the movie I even remotely remember because he's just that damn charismatic. But hey, like I said, I'm the normie in this. Wow, 2015 already. All right. He then stated, I don't want to see a movie about a bunch of white people. That's just not interesting to me. Well, then maybe don't take the studio's big fat paycheck to make one, or stick to your guns a little bit more. I don't know. Tank added the caveat, unless I'm saying something, or it's saying something specifically about a world that's inherently blah, blah, blah. All right, fine. I'm done with this. That's all I really had to say. He goes on into his beliefs and all this stuff. And you know what? I don't really have a problem when they do change out characters as long as it's for a reason that is reasonable. But right now, jumping on the bandwagon for this seems a little disingenuous. It seems like a little bit too much of him trying to say, hey, hire me. I'm not a bad guy. It wasn't my fault. It was them. And it just seems a little bit like, can you maybe tone it down just a peg, especially when you do that type of crap, because we all know who says that type of stuff.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time.
Ooh, does it work both ways? I do not need a 40-year-old white director to tell me why he didn't have the balls to stand up for himself on the Fan Four stick group. I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Mecha Random 42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.